Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Commander Frank B. Thompson III, Commander of the Harold Washington American Legion Post, and the newly elect 3rd District Officer, Commander. And I have with me from last night the 3rd District Service Officer, Richard Lesniewicz. And glad to have you back.
Thank you, Commander.
How you doing? Now we're going to pick up from last night, yesterday evening, however you may say it though. But listen, everybody, please pay attention because this is very important. The stuff that this man is carrying within him is very vital to everyone, male and female. Veteran, this is what you need to know. Call in if you got a problem. Here's the man that you call in to. Call in at 312-738-1060. That's 773-738-1060. And call into the Harold Washington Post hotline. Now we are open, and I'd like to welcome you back.
Thank you, sir.
Since it's not night out there, it's day.
Yeah, so we got plenty of time.
And where we left off at, we're talking about the veterans, which is constantly what we're doing now, and about their benefits and stuff. But before we do that, we'd like to let everybody know that we need your help this Thursday from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock on 4150 South King Drive, because those, especially veterans, if you want to, how you say, get your hands dirty, get your feet dirty, we'd like for you to help with this farm. And the farm is a physical therapy session for people that want to get out, do something, and then plus if you have PTSD or whatever, you're welcome to come there. But now we're going to get back from what we left off at yesterday. And again, before we go any further, I'd like to introduce Rich again and tell us about yourself.
I'm Richard Lesniewicz. I'm a former Department Service Officer, and I've been the 3rd District Service Officer going on 15 years now. I command my own post, the Cameron Butler, but my goal and my mission has always been as a pro bono advocate for veterans and their desire to retain benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs. And in saying in that lifestyle, I'm very dedicated to what I do. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is that we're at a point in our lives and with the Department of Veterans Affairs that more education has to be put out to you guys, and a lot more of us have to get involved with learning what exactly is going on so that we can maybe put a break on it at some point. As yesterday's show, mainly the things that I was discussing were things that we're seeing in the recent letters and denials and award letters received from the Department of Veterans Affairs. And I mentioned yesterday that we're seeing a lot of statements related to your VA medical records. And I'm not saying that everybody should make a mad rush down there, but if you have the opportunity, if I was you, I would request a copy of your VA medical records, especially if things pertaining to your claim and or an earlier effective date for a later confirmed condition are contained in those. I really don't want you to get upset if you receive a letter stating that they could not locate those records and then therefore they don't exist. We have to protect ourselves.
Okay, so then, about the VA, as it say, sometimes veterans, you come in and you really don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you come in and just want to put your claim in. Knowing what your claim is, this is what this man is here for, because the idea, you got to go through some process. Sometimes, like I had to tell a few people, especially when I run across some homeless veterans, why are you homeless? And they give me all kind of reasons, which I don't accept, because I know the difference, because I'm at Jesse Brown 3 days out of a week to help the veterans and everything. But see, then, those that hear my voice now, please pay attention and call in, because see, the idea, we're trying to show you and how to go through the procedures so you wouldn't be messed up about. Okay, Rich.
Go ahead, sir.
But like we was talking about, we didn't talk about the dental part yesterday because it's within a half an hour. You can't talk about anything.
No,
in there.
and caller.
Come here, caller.
Hey, this is Brother Ron.
Hey, what's happening?
How you doing? Is this Commander Frank?
That's with no
Thompson
stress
III?
by the best.
My brother. Hey, listen, just got a quick question for you. Who's your guest besides you?
That's Rick Lesniewicz.
Our
quick
service
question.
officer.
Right, okay, that's probably the man I need to speak to. But listen,
Rick.
I've been trying to get my military ID, which is not attached to medical benefits. How do I do that?
Are you at 100%?
No.
I'm at 0%.
Are you retired military?
Negative. I'm a retired educator.
Oh, so you want your driver's license to say that you're a veteran, or you want the new veteran ID card?
I've done the driver's license part.
So you're waiting on the new VA one that identifies you as a veteran?
Thank you, sir. I'm not waiting. I haven't. How do you get it?
You have to apply online. And
Okay.
at the last time I checked, the word is that they have too many requests and there's a backlog on it. But you can apply online. My Vet ID.
Oh, my vet
ID, yes, sir.
Oh, no, that is very helpful.
Wait a minute, hold on for
Like-
1 minute. Let me ask Rich this. I heard also, like you could go down to admit. And
Okay,
request it.
patient admin, I'm not quite sure if they're doing that one, because the patient admin are the people that do your medical ID.
Right.
Okay, this new ID is totally different than the medical ID. It identifies
Thank you.
and has specific identifying characteristics number sequences that identify your claim with the
Right.
Department of Veterans Affairs and magnifies all your disabilities, and it's supposed to be able to contain that also. I'm not aware, maybe that is. I will find out for sure on Friday because I will be at Jesse Brown and I'll go there personally and find out.
Well, I went that medical route a couple of years back, and I don't know if it's changed or not, but I didn't qualify based on my current income, my retirement income. So I didn't want to go through that hoop.
No, which was that? That's the mean test.
Well, have you ever filed a
Yeah.
claim with the Department of Veterans Affairs?
I know. I'm blessed and healthy, so I've never had to file a claim.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. Years ago now, when I got out the military, I got out in '69, okay? I had an injury. Well, I got an ulcer, which was like in 1971. And I did use the VA. They took care of me and all of that. So I don't know if that was filing a claim or they just took care of me because I was a vet.
Okay, well, essentially, just you doing that, if you were able to obtain those records or had copies of that paperwork, according to the new changes in Category 8, that gives you clearance to use the Department of Veterans Affairs regardless of your income, but you would need to have those documents to show them that you had used the hospital before 2009.
Absolutely, and that's what I did. Yeah, I was down at not Hines, on Ontario. Superior Street. What was it called?
Oh, and you were at Lakeside.
Lakeside. That's what it was, right? Forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, when you went there at that time, Category 8, more like, if you can obtain those records from that period, and all you got to do is go to the hospital 5th floor at Jesse
Right.
Brown and request them.
Yeah, records.
Well, yeah. Okay, if I can obtain those records. Now, you know how impossible that might be.
Well,
No,
it doesn't hurt to try. That's all you can do is try.
I'm
And
not
even
gonna
if
give
they
up.
don't
I'm
have
gonna
hard
try.
copy, if you put on the request freedom of information, they have to search as far back as your request.
Oh, yeah.
And if they say they can only go back so far, any time that a paper shows up with your name on it at the VA is all you need, as long as it was prior to 2009.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was like in '71.
Okay, all you got to do is see if you can get a copy of those.
But I still got to go down to VA and just fill
Yes,
out
sir.
the necessary forms, et cetera,
It's
et cetera.
on the 5th floor on the
Taylor Street side of the hospital.
On the 5th floor? I heard both of y'all talking at the same time. So.
Yes, sir. The 5th floor, Taylor Street side at Jesse Brown. You sign a Freedom of Information request, and you just ask for the records going back to 1971.
My brothers. All right.
That's what we're here for.
Hey, man, I mean, really, I'm going to do that. Thank you very much, both of you guys.
You're very
You're welcome, sir.
And have a nice afternoon. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is... Come in, caller. Caller, come in.
Hello. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
All right, this Senior Vice Newsom, of course.
Oh,
How you
yes,
doing?
Commander.
Yeah, I heard the part that your last speaker had on concerning that his conditions, his records. What you tell him is absolutely right. Hopefully he'll go ahead and get it. We people that have Washington are here to please. And because of that, how's our guard, you know? Did you tell about the guard we have and et cetera there?
Yes, we talked about it when we first opened up the show.
Okay, then. Yeah, you know, they invited people over, right?
Yeah, because, see, like I said, Kellogg's and
Anyway.
New Horizon and a few other people are going to be there. And those who want to join us, come there with your jeans on and also some gym shoes on if you want to get them dirty, because that's what we're going to do. We're all going to pitch in as a community. And we're going to do this.
Work as a cause. We'll work for the cause. Take the community. Yeah, just call and see how everybody was doing and understanding how our program was operating. I see it's doing pretty good there.
Thank you very much. And you take care of yourself, VC.
Okay, CC.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Now, back to work.
I wanted to tell him that I talked to his buddy Roy down there in Mississippi last week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But, no, back to us, though. But, now, like you were saying about the medical card, medical ID. Now, like, okay, so now it's two kinds of medical and just a regular ID?
It's just a regular ID that's supposed to incorporate everything. It's supposed to, you know, we're going to eliminate. See, the when they came out with the different VA medical cards, that data strip on the back is supposed to contain all your medical.
Right.
And the idea when they sold it and they presented it to the veterans community was that we could take that card in any VA facility that we went to. Okay, if we had a register or was it an emergency, they would be able to access everything about us with a swipe.
Okay.
Well, this is another one of the systems that is at some locations. I know of only one at Jesse Brown where they were doing this, and that was in the phlebotomy clinic. And you could slide in and they'd register you to 9 yards. Now the new ones does it through the kiosk.
Okay.
Whereas now if you have to go to another VA hospital, let's say you're out of state and you have an emergency or you need to refill meds, and just like what happened to me, I deployed with FEMA, so I had to go to the hospital in Louisiana for my meds. I had to register there again so that I would be in their system. Okay, to get that. What we're hoping is that is going to be eliminated so that we don't have to go through that process. All we have to do is present our card, they can slip it through the computer,
So the
and
new
they should
card,
have access. This is what we're hoping.
Okay, so the new card is going to be called nationwide.
Right, it's supposed to be, all of our medical cards, the current new ones that we have are supposed to be the same, and so were the ones previous to that.
Okay.
But each stage it seems to be changing a little. Let's just hope that we get one that's going to be universal in its knowledge. And we can carry all our information with us.
Now, I had a few people call me at my post complaining about they had to leave Jesse Brown Hospital to go to, per se, someplace else like Hines or something like that. And they got pretty upset about it because of the idea. And it tripped me up because I thought by being, listen very closely, I thought by being VA period,
Right.
it was
No, it doesn't work
connected
that way.
with
Each
community.
hospital
I
is
found out,
independent.
yes, and I found out the Hines cannot connect with the Jesse Brown
Right.
computer system.
Right.
And what I found this,
But there's a universal. See, there's too much data at each one. And what we spent from 1987, the Congress mandated that they get the computers to talk to the DOD so that we'd have access to veterans' information and their military records. Well, that's $30 billion. Okay, and you would have hoped with what we know about technology that would be universal. We could go in any hospital and they could access our records.
Right.
But the way it works is they have to have their numbers. So registering at the hospital makes them responsible, adds number to their patient list, and that's regardless if you're just going there for, say like what I do. I have veterans who have issues with their back or spine, and I know that there's the Spinal Cord Injury Center at Hines. If I'm not seeing a status of improvement or examinations and treatments from their doctors at Jesse Brown for whatever reason, and the veteran is continually telling me that it's hurting, he's in pain, he can't get them to pay attention, I send them to Hines. So, and I tell them, you're gonna have to re-register, okay, and when you go through, you tell them what the problem is. Now, with the choice program and with being interaction with the doctors that are now with the VA, the doctors at Jesse Brown should be able to tell the veteran, listen, we don't have the facilities here to address your issue. So I'm sending a referral for you to Hines VA, or I'm sending you up to Lovell, or maybe to Milwaukee, okay? And this way the veteran can be already expected and he can bypass all the additional registration, because when the doctor sends their referral, they can send your information regarding your condition. That's what we want out of the VA system. And with the new statement that has been put on some of the newer letters that you've received, due to the fact that you've received modern medical treatment and it's supposed to be improving. We want to see that at all levels.
That's
see,
true.
One of the biggest problems that we have, and it's part of our PTSD and our OCD, even for those of us that have been out of the service for 40 or 50 years, we are still expecting that the general public and the civilian community functions like we did in the military. We were not allowed to half-step.
Right.
And so we look at what we're seeing, and this would be to show us that, yes, you do really want to take care of us, you do want to treat us, and that you understand OCD, fix it. You know, but what can you say?
But then again, you know, as you know, that as we say, nothing is perfect.
Nothing is perfect.
Nothing is perfect, but we just have to learn how to deal
Take
with
a deep breath,
and
relax, but there's
time.
but there's a way for us, and especially the service organizations. We play a big part in what happens with our veterans.
Yes, we do.
And so just restricting yourself to the command in your district or the command of your post, if you get it, somebody comes into the post and they're complaining about X, Y, and Z, okay, and you tell them, okay, from now on, I want all our members to bring me the complaints about this. If you can't make it to the patient advocate, if you cannot address it with the service organization that's representing you in your claim, you bring it to the post, or you bring it to the district. And then at our command meetings, for the betterment of the Legion, we ask, and everybody says, listen, I've had X amount of veterans complaining about the hearing doctor or the hearing test, or we'd like to send out a comment to the great work that's being done by orthology. It works both ways.
Right.
But see, once the Department of Veterans Affairs sees that the organizations are back involved, and we're paying attention, and we're willing, that we're willing to work with them to improve and to see. Just like in the public sector, And when the government decides they're gonna shut down the parks over here, so they have community meetings. Okay, well, if you notice, see, it's a requirement by Thomas Rule of Order, okay, that you present this to the public for input.
Right.
So the city will hold 1, 2, or 3 public hearings regarding the issue.
Right.
But it's held at a period of time during the day when most people who are directly affected by the issue that can assist in bringing in change to it are either at work or returning home from work.
They
But
don't have the time.
right, and so the complaints that they get from those that attend are, why is the street light out on my house? And they're not directed toward what these people are presenting the thing about. But what they have done is they've achieved the legal standard of presenting it for public input. And if there is no input, it becomes law.
That kind of make me think about when we took that test. What was that, back in December or January?
Okay, which test is that?
That certification test. I guess for the,
For the American Legion?
yes.
What did you do, the college extension course?
Right.
Okay, right.
Okay, no, because see, just how you just got through pronouncing it, I'm going to bring it another way. I interpreted it this year. Okay, public, if you have a problem and you want your answers and stuff, you want your questions and stuff answered, okay, if you go to American Legion Post and you sit down with the commander or one of his officers, which is senior or junior vice commander, and the adjutant, but then you see where I'm going with from there. You talk to them, tell them about it, and see what they don't know. Each post has a service officer. So then what they may gather there, then from the post will come to the district. It's like the chain of order.
Chain of command.
Change of command. It will come to the district. The district then will take it
To the
to
department.
the department, which would be our state down in Bloomington.
No. The initial complaints, investigations, and anything dealing with the Department of Veterans Affairs and all the hospital, after our level, okay, we go directly to either division or we go to the regional office and speak to the director of VRNE.
Yeah,
Because
I
he
understand
is
that, but
our
I was
yes.
just referring about the American Legion.
That is the American Legion.
They step from the post
Right, yes.
to the district, from the district.
He is part of our steps.
Okay.
He is who I go to who I'm supposed to go to if I run into problems, because his job is he goes to monthly meetings at the regional office, and he is the one that presents to the Department of Veterans Affairs issues that came from us. Okay, but when he goes up there, if he has no issues to present to the VA,
Well, he can't do anything.
and the VA says everything's fine. Okay?
Yes.
It's we, as I expressed
Just
yesterday,
passing the buck.
and no, it's not passing the buck. If he has nothing to complain about, if we have not presenting him with issues, he has none to present to them.
No, that's true.
So when they ask him if there's problems, and he says, well, I've received nothing, okay, then there's nothing to discuss. We have to do our part to bring to his attention what's going on. He doesn't, our guys on Chicago and Taylor do not know of issues at the VA where you're having problems with doctors, or you're having a botched surgery, or you're having issues with transportation picking you up, because with those, we complain amongst ourselves. But if you're a member of the organization, by our code and ethics, it's our responsibility to go to someone and say, as a Legionnaire for the better of the cause, this is what's happening.
That's true. And see, again, it's so important. And I had to give you your credit, cause see,
You, like I said,
But see, it's just what a service officer has to go through.
Well, see, let me explain something. At the post level, the service officer is restricted. He can assist in filling out forms, okay, but he cannot submit them as a representative. Okay, he can have them fill it out and sign it, and he can take it down to Taylor Street and drop it off, period. What I do is totally beyond that, okay, because I collect the evidence, I support, I sign off on it, I'm your representative through the system, okay? Now, at each level, we have a responsibility, but the main thing is, wrap up. The main thing is we all, as Legionnaires, we need to not complain amongst ourselves, but make complaint to the people that can help change the complaints.
Okay.
Or the comments. Like I said, if someone's doing a great job, let's tell them they're doing a great job.
Okay, and always, when it start getting good, it's time to go and stuff like that. But we have one more final week, next Monday, and then we take a little vacation to get ready for the fall session and stuff like that. But see, just because we're not on the show, that don't mean we're not doing our jobs. So if you have any type of problem, any type of question, call the Herald Washington American Legion Post 1987 at 773-719-0854. That's 773-719-0854. If you need help or if you have any questions, because what I can't handle or my service officer cannot handle, this is the man. That's who we depend on. And he know his job.
But you better hurry up, because I'm planning on forgetting a whole lot of things.
So, we just want to wrap this up and tell you all thank you for this special day, this special afternoon that we have today on CAN TV. And I'd like to thank the people that's helping us run this show. And we'd like to also to say thank you and have a nice afternoon. And you all take care of yourselves.